Hi everybody, welcome to my latest YouTube video. It's your old mate Beatle Dave calling to you from Derby in the United Kingdom. A very dark Thursday morning at the minute. Today's video is a bit of a celebration. I was lucky enough to meet one of my YouTube heroes on Sunday, MrEliRecords. He came all the way to see good old Beatle Dave. And we went round Derby, but unfortunately most of Derby was closed. But we did have a really good time, and he gave me some VCLT, and I gave him some VCLT as well. So this is really going to be a little bit of a story about what we got up to, and I will try and show you some photos that are on my phone. So I don't know how it's going to come up. I've got a new microphone as well, so I don't know if this is working or not. So again, this is a bit of an experiment just to see how things could pan out in the future. Yeah, MrEliRecords, fantastic channel. If you don't know who he is, please check him out. I think he's been on the VC for well over 10 years, or on YouTube, or whatever you want to call it. He's got some amazing records. He's a very knowledgeable gentleman, and it was a pleasure to meet him in person. In fact, when he told me he was coming, he actually texted me and said he was coming to the UK and he actually wanted to meet. He hasn't just come to see me, he's come to see the bootleg Beatles, and he's been to London and he's been to Holland and he's been to record fairs and things like that. So his trip wasn't just to see me, but I was extremely honoured that he wanted to see me. Uh, so we met him off the bus and everything, and I will try and show you some quick photos, and then I'll show you what I got off him, if that's okay. So again, I don't know what this is going to come out like, so please bear with me, folks. So I could put these onto my laptop, but I don't think they've come out okay. So this is us. You see that? Don't know if you can see it. So that is me, Sue, and Mr. Ellie. I don't know if you can see that right. Go that way. That is me and Mr. Ellie in the Beatles bar. In the Beatles bar, which is in a pub called the Noah's Ark in Derby, where we had a quick pint. There's another one of me and Mr. Ellie in the Beatles bar. Another one which is virtually the same. Then there is us sat down and having a quick drink in the pub. Fantastic. It was, like I say, it was an honour to meet him. I still can't believe that he actually wanted to meet me. So once we'd had a drink and we'd shown him the Beatles bar, we did go to Derby Cathedral, and then we took him out for lunch. It was only in the Witherspoons, but you know, and then we went to the Old Dolphin, which is supposedly one of the oldest pubs in Derby. And again, we had a shandy in there, and that is where Dick Turpin was supposed to have stayed many years ago, if you believe all the hype. Then we went and had a cup of coffee, and we had some really nice conversations. We was talking about how we got into the Beatles, how we got into music collecting, how we got into records, you know, a bit of background about each other, you know, what's going on with YouTube and the VC and things like that. It was fascinating. I never knew he'd actually met Paul McCartney, so that's something I found out. And he's got a signed gig ticket, ticket for a gig. I think it was ticket for a gig. And I did tell him that I am related to Paul McCartney, which I don't think he did actually believe, but I am actually a very distant relation of Paul McCartney. And I must mean this, it's most of you lot out there probably is related to ours. I can't remember if it's I'm second cousin 9 times removed or his ninth cousin twice removed. Then was telling story, you know, how we got into other sorts of music like punk and new wave and, you know, 70s music, T-Rex and things like that. Was on about what video, you know, what other YouTube videos we watch. Me and Mr. Mayo came up quite a bit, as did Beatle Brad and Beatle Tone, amongst others. I must emphasise that, amongst others. Yeah, it was honestly, I'm still buzzing that I actually got to meet like one of my YouTube heroes. And you know, that is, I can't really say much more than that. It was fantastic. There is another photo if I can get it up, so just bear with us 1 second. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might have videoed this, so it could be on one of his future videos. And it is when he gave me my VCLT. Is it going to be on here? We was actually sat in the cafe in the bus station where I work, and my face on that, I don't know if you can see that. I was just amazed that it gave me these records. Like I say, you know, his family was coming the day after he'd met us and things. So we did have a really, really nice day. It's a shame it couldn't have lasted a little bit longer. And it's a shame that half the places in Derby were closed on a Sunday. But I did tell him that the record shop, you know, our main record shop, wasn't open on a Sunday. Cheers, everybody. I did actually try to get one of these mugs, Ellie, but it wouldn't have been here on time. So shall we have a look at the goodies that he brought me? And these are amazing. They really are amazing. He sent me a letter with it. I mean, these was all in a box, and this is a letter that he sent me. So if you'll excuse me while I just put my glasses on, because I don't want to cock this up, and it's a lovely letter. Really is a lovely letter. And it says, "Hi Dave, as a token of our friendship, here enclosed 2 rare Israeli Beatles records. The first one is Magical Mystery Tour, non-gatefold, black and silver label, second pressing with special different Israeli layout cover." And it is, it's amazing, honestly. And then the second one is Get Back, Don't Let Me Down, single, unique Israeli pressing with Mad Day Out photo, front laminated cover and Apple label, and a special EMI and its subsidies label in a sleeve with Hebrew inscription that translates into the biggest record company in the world. Pressed only in few quantities, which make both these quite collectible items worldwide. Enjoy, Ellie. And I'm going to enjoy, mate. This is going to, I'm going to frame this and I'm going to put this up on my wall somewhere, because when he originally, when he said he was coming to the UK and he wanted to meet me, I was supposed to be working on the Sunday, but luckily I managed to get a day off, which is why we managed to do it. It was a bit of a last minute thing, to be honest. Yeah, fantastic. So now you know roughly what we're going to look at. I've got to put this somewhere safe while I do this. Let me just put that down there. So we'll have a look at the Get Back, Don't Let Me Down single first, which is this one. Like it says, the photo is from the Mad Day Out, 1968. And on the back, it does tell you some of the other Beatles singles that you could get in Israel. Remember, this is an Israeli copy. It's not an American copy or a European copy or a British copy. It is from Israel. I've got to be very careful when I take this out, because in these uh, sealable sleeves. So there, you get a better, you won't get as much glare on that. EMI Apple, and it's R5777. So the catalogue number on this one is, I think, exactly the same as the UK pressing, and it is in a flip back sleeve. Lovely, isn't it? Now, what he was on about the inner sleeve being in Hebrew, can you see that? It's telling you the subsidiaries of EMI Records at the time, which were Columbia, EMI itself, Capitol, Odeon, Parlophone, Regal, Stateside, something else up there, and I'm not sure what that one is. You can't really see it very good without the record in it, but isn't that lovely? Really, really lovely. And the record itself is in immaculate condition. So you get the lovely Apple label. And then that is a classic, Don't Let Me Down. Don't let me down, ding a diddle ding ding ding. Don't let me down, and then Get Back. It did say that these are actually quite rare and might be worth a bit. Um, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but Ellie, Mr. Ellie, I will apologise. I've seen how much these are going for on eBay, and I think you'd have to have given me these. I don't mean that in a nice way. I mean I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that you thought to give me these, but they're worth a lot of money, mate. These are worth a hell of a lot of money. Um, so I am honoured that you chose to give me this and the LP that we're going to look at in a second. You know, I'm lost for words when he gave me this box. I mean, bearing in mind, I wasn't expecting anything off him because he'd come all the way from Israel. Again, not just to see me, to do other things as well. But it's an honour, really is an honour. Um, I'm still buzzing that I've actually met him, and his knowledge on records and the Beatles, and apparently he did say that he'd been on some sort of TV program in Israel years ago, like a local news program, and they just interviewed him because of his vast collection of records, and he actually showed it me, and I'm thinking, I mean, I thought I got lots of records. I mean, the way I'm set up in this room now with my desk near the window, you only see like a quarter of my record collection. Bearing in mind there's some here, there's some there, and then there's a load over here and there's a load there as well. Now this is magic because it's a magical mystery tour, but no, this is magic. I didn't even know that this existed. I knew the album existed, obviously, but I didn't know that there was a special limited edition from Israel. And if you see, this has got a greener sort of like sleeve, where the UK and American ones were yellow, weren't they? So you've got EMI there, you've got stereo, and it's got the American catalogue number, which is SMAL2835, and then it says stereo and mono. So I presume this is like not not true stereo mixes, are they? They're like fake stereo. Um, Again, I've got to be very, very careful taking this out. So you might see it a little bit better now. That's on its sleeve. Isn't that lovely? And it has gone a little bit there, which you did say. To me, that doesn't matter. I can't believe I'm actually holding in my hand something that's come all those hundreds and thousands of miles away. And apparently, these were only produced in small quantities. They weren't like pressed in the millions, it was like in the thousands. So the track listing is exactly the same. So you get Magical Mystery Tour, The Fool on the Hill, Flying, Blue Jay Way, Your Mother Should Know, and I'm the Walrus. That is on side one. Then side two is Hello Goodbye, Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, Baby or Rich Man, and All You Need Is Love. Now, it's got the American number, but it's actually on Parlophone. That's a fantastic photo as well, isn't it? Also, that's a brilliant photo. I'll be very careful trying to get this out. It's like I'm holding the crown jewels or something. That's all I can say. I'm like really, really amazed that somebody goes to the trouble, one, to come and see me, but then to give me such lovely gifts. So it's on a one box EMI Parlophone black and silver label. So that is side one. You can see that, okay. Now I must apologise, Mr. MrEliRecords. I haven't actually played these yet. I was at work till yesterday, and I haven't been up that long, hence why I haven't had a shave or anything. But they will be getting played in a little bit, don't worry. So they haven't been cleaned or anything, so I can't tell you what the sound quality is like. Although he did assure me that the sound quality is absolutely amazing. Again, I know I shouldn't have done it. I did have a little look on eBay, and yes, eBay is not the most accurate way to find out what something is worth. But when I saw what this one's going for, to be honest, these roughly go for the same sort of price. And should I tell you, they're nearly like £200 each. So yes, I am very, very honoured that somebody would think to give me, one, to actually come and see me, which is amazing, and two, give me such wonderful gifts. Yes, they might not be extremely rare in Israel. I don't know. It's like, you know, some UK pressings aren't exactly worth a lot in the UK either, but yet in other parts of the world they're worth like 3 or 4 times what they worth in the UK. But yeah, I just thought that was a really, really amazing thing for somebody to do. Wonderful. I'm over the moon. I really am over the moon. So once again, thank you, MrEliRecords. It was a pleasure to meet you, and we are going to keep in contact, aren't we? And I will have to try and sort you something out, and I will send it to you in when you get back to Israel. Uh, Probably won't be as good as these, mate. To be honest, I will admit that, but I will try and send you something just as a thank you. We had an absolutely fantastic time. When we left, it was like we'd known each other for years, sort of thing. It was a very, very strange sort of feeling, because as soon as I got off the bus, we like hugged each other, and you know, it was wonderful. There wasn't a bad thing about it. The only downside to a certain extent is that the record shop wasn't open, and yes, we could have gone to HMV, but that's not the same, is it? But we had some wonderful conversations. We had lots of laughs and things like that. You know, it was an amazing day, and it's probably one of the highlights of my YouTube career was meeting another YouTuber in person, and one that has got such a wonderful, wonderful knowledge of not only the Beatles but of records and everything. He's a fantastic gentleman, and I'm going to say gentleman. And it was an honour to meet you, mate. It really was an honour. And if you haven't checked out his channel, by the way, it is MrEliRecords. So please, please, if you've never watched his channel, just go and check it out. He's got some fantastic finds. He's got a stereo black and gold. Please, please, me LP. He's got Beatles records from Japan, from Germany, from the UK, from obviously from Israel. He did do a little like mini series where he was showing like certain records from certain countries. He should be on a hell of a lot more subscribers than what he is. You know, if you're saying how long he's been on YouTube and the amount of knowledge he's got and everything, please check him out. And if you check him out, please subscribe to his channel. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still buzzing about that day. I really am. Don't show, does it? And finally, just to round this little video off, Record Store Day 2024. As you know, I couldn't go because I was working. But I did do something a bit stupid, really, which doesn't really explain Record Store Day. I did see the John Lennon 4-track EP, this one, and this was advertised on eBay, so you could pre-order it. Now, because I couldn't technically go out and stand in the queue, I thought this is the next best thing. And I didn't realise till it actually came that this is the glow in the dark one. Record Store Day Collector's Glow in the Dark Edition. I don't know how many there is of these. Now I have seen a couple of YouTube videos, and some people are saying this is crap. It absolutely sounds rubbish. The black one sounds better. I've just played this on my system downstairs, and to me it sounds absolutely amazing. It really does sound amazing. And if it sounds as if this Mind Games box set or whatever's coming out later in the year, and the whole album or albums, depending on which ones you get, sound as good as this, it's going to be amazing. That is the track listing. And the version on here of I Am the Greatest. Now, I've heard John's like demo version. I've heard the version that he did with Paul. Not with Paul, because Paul didn't turn up for that one, did he? With George, Ringo, and Klaus Voormann. But this version I've never heard. It's a slightly different version. Well, I think it is. Um, Everything else on it sounds fantastic. You do get it in a polyline sleeve, which was good. And I mean, this won't look like it's a glow in the dark, but I assure you it is glow in the dark. I don't know what these symbols are supposed to mean. I would prefer to have seen this on a apple or capital or even an EMI or Parlophone label, something like that. I presume there is some reason why that is like that. Like I say, sound quality on it, I loved it. I was sat downstairs drinking my coffee and bopping away to it. Mind Games is a fantastic song anyway, and it is a very, very underrated album. Now, this came, what day is it today? Thursday. I think this came on Tuesday. I think this came. And when I met MrEliRecords, I was on about Record Store Day, and he'd been to a big record fair in Holland, I think it was. And I said, well, I was working, so I couldn't go, but I'd ordered this. I know Beatle Tone of Beatle Tone's Beatles channel fame. You got the black version of this, didn't you? The black vinyl version of this, and you said you paid £34 or something like that for yours. And then you said somebody else you knew, they'd got it, and theirs was £28. Right, that's okay. I understand that, but I always thought if it was Record Store Day, it was a set price for each record. Have I got that wrong? I know this one was slightly more because it was on a coloured vinyl, or from what I've been told, but I paid £50 for it. But that is with the postage. Now, for saying I didn't have to get up at stupid o'clock and I didn't have to queue and things like that, which I know is part of the fun of it, don't get me wrong, I know that is part of the fun of Record Store Day. I don't think that was bad. Looking on eBay this morning, some of these are going for 100, 120, 130, 140 pound. Even I've seen one today for 150 pound for this glow in the dark one. And the ordinary black coloured vinyl ones, they're going for about 70 or 80 pound. So I think everybody that got one of these roughly when it came out has done even good. Even me, I think I could double my money on this if I wanted to. Not that I'm going to, but I'm just saying, so sometimes not being at the actual event as it happens. So yeah, so I've had some quite nice goodies. So you've got Mind Games, Record Store Day. We've got the Get Back, Don't Let Me Down from my good friend MrEliRecords from Israel, and we've got the Israeli pressing of Magical Mystery Tour again from MrEliRecords. When people give me things, I never know what to say. It's such a wonderful feeling that somebody, well, for one, will think of giving you something, and for two, amazing gifts they were. And technically, the Mind Games one is a gift because it was a gift to me from me. Because I couldn't go to Record Store Day. Does that make sense, folks? So that's going to be it. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. No Beatles twist and shout outs today because I forgot to do them. I do apologise. And until the next time, it's Beatle Dave wishing you all peace, love, and happiness. And I will see you on the next exciting episode. Remember, you are the Beatle Dave, and a splendid time is guaranteed for you all.